So,
It's September the 15th.
yep.
Yeah. Welcome back to another episode of Vulnerable. What's the, I'll put that beginning piece in. What's the clean out night? Tell them again.
So towards we have a bar. Sometimes we're just going to have pictures that we can kind of just show what the lodge looks like or
I
whatever.
wanted to do a tour. I want to do just kind of a generic tour.
Yeah.
Because Chris was, before you got in here, Chris was like, where's bedroom 5 and 6? I'm like, it's past the lockers and keeps going.
So I have but back to liquor clean out night is, because we have a bar and there's some camps that don't get used at all, but there's other camps that sometimes when we're only evening hunting in late season or whatever, and a guy will have a whole group of his workers here and it's like their vacation and yeah. And Lisa, I think one night said, all right, she started pulling everything out from the season and setting it up there.
Don't drink anything new. Yeah. Drink this, you sons of bitches.
Liquor clean out night.
Pull your mic just a little. You're loud, but pull your just so it sounds clear.
There we go. How's that?
Yeah, sound good. First of all, I did want to say that it was, I think it was a terrible thing that happened to Charlie Kirk. I just want to recognize him because I think he's a fantastic person. I thought he was a fantastic person. I loved listening to him. Chris, did you listen to Charlie much?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I think the fact that That was bad.
It was. I mean, from the time you text me and because, I had no idea how much, I'm 58 years old. I had no idea how embedded he was with the youth and everything and stuff. And because he had started setting on, because I'll wake up and watch Fox in the morning or whatever, and he had been a host some.
Sure.
That's how I knew him.
Yeah,
he had been hosting some on the weekends and everything and stuff.
Right.
So that was.
I mean, his wife, Erica. Is his wife Erica?
Yeah,
Kirk?
I watched her thing.
That was, 2 days after too, and I'm like, how strong of a woman are you that you can, because she talked for what? It was like 30, 45, I don't know. It was a while.
It was a while.
It was a long time. And it just, like my brother and I talked about Charlie. I remember I started listening to him in 2018 and he, in my opinion, could have been a future president,
For sure.
Yeah.
He would have been something.
So, a man of faith.
2012, right out of high school, decided to not go to college and yeah. Him and a couple classmates were on Fox in 2012.
Right.
Yeah. So
a man of faith, a family man, and whatever belief, Republican, whatever you want to call him. I just think he was just a realist. He just saw things as they were, and he brought statistics. It's no different than you and I sitting here talking about deer and like numbers and.
Correct.
That's what he did. He just talked about people and numbers and religions or ethnicities or, whatever.
He felt like he knew what was going on with at today's college campuses and stuff. With the, that professor could teach whatever he felt or whatever. And
sure.
And I think that was his goal, was to travel the country and kind of. Yeah, bring his movement to the college campuses and stuff.
So I had but this is like going back to what I am degreed in plastics.
Yep.
I went to a class one time where there was like two ways of thinking at that time, and they taught both sides. And then
with the plastics.
Yeah, and then they let us pick.
Okay.
They're like, what makes sense to you? And I always think about that. I'm like, college or high school or what, I don't care what you are. I just think you should give both sides and then be
100%.
be fair to both sides, and then let a person, because, sorry, if you're one sided or the other, doesn't mean you're 100% right, but you should be open minded at least, right?
Correct. Because
it's not an agenda. It shouldn't be an agenda.
No, our podcast is just me 25 years of doing this and my opinion on what has worked for me, not gospel.
Right.
Tips
and tricks.
Yeah, it's not gospel. It's just what has worked and been successful for me.
Right.
So because you go on, you know, I saw a picture of, I think I may have showed it to somebody, to you, or a picture of Stan with a big giant 200-incher, and he looked like he's 20-some-year-old kid or whatever. And look at the comments on,
What were they saying?
just, you know, just ridiculous stuff.
Like
the comments,
like it's not 200, making
and
fun of
high
Stan.
fence,
Yeah.
high fence. I knew he always hunted high fence and
Yeah.
this and that and everything, and he killed it here and there, and he snuck on here, he snuck on there, you know, and people like just sit there and say stuff without, you know, he's my friend, and I almost wanted to go on there and
Yeah. I mean, it's easy to hide behind a phone and a TV and
sure enough
you know,
is, yes.
And I mean, I'm sure, I don't think that, you know, and that with Stan, you know, why would you attack a man that's probably the top 5 most known name or face in the hunting industry now, you know, is
I mean,
Stan.
Clinton Lake, you showed up at whatever time in the dark in the morning, and there everybody shows up. They put your name, or you put your name in, and they draw 2 people for the day.
Oh, that's where Stan hunted.
That's how it was done.
So he got his name drawn.
Yeah,
he
you
went
just
in.
get your name drawn to hunt the
Where's that at?
peninsula. So it was Clinton Lake, which was basically, which is a power plant, and it was basically a peninsula of land surrounded by water.
Okay.
So
What state?
Illinois.
Illinois.
His
Okay.
hometown.
Oh, yeah,
his
he
hometown
lives
of
in Illinois. Yeah.
So, you know, it was just like a lottery drawing, you know, every morning for a couple people, and
Yeah.
you go hunt.
Chris.
But then there were some little, on Clinton Lake, there were some little private, like a little private 5 acres, and there was a couple little private pieces, and he then eventually had a little piece that he had permission for in there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, not.
Right.
And I think he would even at times could ride a boat in to the and not even have to come in through land, would ride a boat in and get in.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
So pretty cool.
Yeah. There is I don't want to say the area, but I have a question in regards to this. But I mean, people in our area know where this is, but I'm not going to say it. But the albino deer, I'm sure have you not seen that in our area?
No.
I think there's 1 or 2 of them, and you know where I'm talking about, Chris. I just don't want to say it because so my question is, have you ever?
I've had albino.
You've had albino.
They were not albino. They were all white.
Oh, they were all white.
They were white, and I don't think they were true albino. They didn't have the pink. They didn't have the pink eyes and the hooves and everything. I think they were.
What's the hooves?
I think their hooves will be a different color as well on an albino.
Maybe like black or something.
No. Look up. I think an albino has like their hooves are a different color as well.
I use that term.
He didn't have true albino, but he was pure white, and there was a bunch, and it was kind of around. The jade,
pinkish hooves.
Yeah,
Pinkish
hooves. So around between Love's and where Calvary's new school is.
How long? I mean, how long ago roughly was that? I mean, was that 15 years ago?
10 years ago.
Yeah, I feel like I feel like I knew that, or maybe
yeah.
somebody. Yeah, yep. I feel like I remember that.
And he actually, I mean, somebody harvested him.
Somebody got in
Yeah,
here.
somebody harvested him, and you know, I don't know how people feel about the whole piebald and
I think it's
white deer and
50-50.
I mean, I'm kind of like along the line of an Indian. I think that's bad mojo when you. So
Depends on how big his antlers are, in my opinion. I'm like, yeah, I will never, ever kill a piebald or an albino. What'd you say, 170? Bump.
Yeah, I'll shoot him and go to church on Sunday.
Yeah, I'll pray. I'll pray the blood off my hands. So I say that albino, it's a piebald. They're piebald. They're not, they look like cows. They got the
No, this one was pure white.
Pure white.
He had
Okay.
no
Well,
piebald. He was not brown and white.
the ones I'm talking about are piebald.
yes.
Are piebald. Yeah.
Now, I do know on my route heading west, there's like a piebald. He was a year and a half or 2.5-year-old buck last year.
Yeah.
Saw him a couple times.
He must.
And he was about 50-50.
Yeah.
About 50-50. Now I like that better than, I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
The
It's
kind
almost
of the piebald 50-50.
the albino or whatever. The most all white's almost like a unicorn.
Yeah.
You know, reminds you
Yeah,
of a
he's just
mystical-
waiting for it to get winter time, and then
Right.
you can't see that sucker at all. He's like a ghost.
What did he score?
Honestly, he may have at one time made about 130, and then when he was shot, he may have been 120.
So he just was, and he was an older deer.
Yes. We didn't shoot him. Thought maybe he would get big.
Yep.
But he got a little smaller, so he was probably 5 maybe when we
Was
shot him.
he on the hit list when?
No, I mean it was people texting, "You do what you want to do." Like I wasn't telling somebody shoot it.
Oh, you were just,
I'm saying if
if that's what you want
if you
to.
want to shoot him, you can shoot him because he's 5.5.
Did you anything abnormal about the deer when you're standing there looking? I mean, I'm sure it was abnormal as hell to look at him.
Still had like he had a brown patch on top of his head and everything, and but just looked like a
White guy.
He looked like a white guy out
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. Nice.
With his with his white socks pulled up high and everything.
So, did the guy get him mounted? I'm sure he got
I
him
think he
mounted.
did.
Did he do a full body mount?
I think he did a full body mount.
Really?
Yeah.
Does he still hunt here?
Now he may have put another rack on it. That I don't know, but but he did get it mounted, and he does not hunt here.
He doesn't hunt here anymore.
No. Now he has stayed in touch. He was a guy from Kentucky, and he had a big company where, say, Toyota's closing a plant and moving from here to here. He'll roll in and tear the entire plant down. And,
Oh wow.
yeah, and move all the assembly lines,
Right.
and
Yeah.
he does that side of stuff. But he had a son that he would bring with him, and his son, and he sent a picture of his son killed a really, really nice one. And he's like kind of an adult now,
Yeah.
and stuff. But his son was up here. It was not youth season. I believe it was just regular shotgun season, and he had his son with him. And I kind of took his son, and man, we had an exciting hunt and everything. So Tracy,
Yep.
I don't know if we told the story, but
No, you definitely haven't.
But Tracy, so we were driving, and we saw a buck, a good buck, bedded with a doe in the middle of the field, maybe 100 yards off my property. So as I'm like heading back for lunch or something, but Tracy was riding with me to just just ride along. And so I dropped Tracy off, and he got up in a tree stand and to keep an eye on him and watch. And so Tracy is up in the tree, and Tracy called and said he's now in your property line. He's now on your property line. So then never heard from Tracy, and so then I have the kid with me, and we go.
How old was he?
I'm going to say 14.
Okay.
13, 14. So we park, you kind of guess where he has to be, because there's this thick fence row, and there's kind of a roll in my field, and this kid, we're going and going and going, and we just get to the top of the roll, and we're just laying there. And we're sitting there, and I can't find nothing. And found the doe. I saw the doe's ear twitch or something, and I still have never found the buck or anything. I think a long time went by, and I think I may have found. And so this kid is like, what's the plan? And basically, cars driving down the road, we're probably 200 yards off the road. Like they can probably see two people in orange standing out there.
Yeah.
And so I said, the problem is she could stand up and be gone, So he stood there. He then was on his knees, and we had a Primo's triple stick, and he just kind of sat there for hours.
14 years old. Hours. It's snowing.
No, it was.
I thought you said
it
snowing.
was not
Okay,
snowing.
okay.
It was, but it was kind of cold, and then it got to be where I'm watching and watching and watching, and now it's to the time where it's going to be evening. You know, them hopefully standing up in the evening. You know, it's like we've been there that long.
You guys got out there like noon.
No, we ate. I'm going to say we got out there at maybe 1:30
Okay.
or so, and if shooting time was over at 5:30 or
you're
something,
pushing into 4 o'clock.
So now we're pushing into 4, and I can see like orange. I'm like, what in the hell is that? I can see orange, and that sucker, he stood up, and I can really see the orange. And he had a bolt stuck in his ass.
Oh, you're
A
kidding.
crossbow bolt stuck in his ass. And I could see the knock moving.
okay.
That was the orange. And ended up, he hit him. We found blood. We did not go look for him. We waited till, we just waited. And Tracy and I think, we got up at like 4:30, or we got up at real early in the morning and went and looked and we found him. And it was,
What do you end up
I
scoring?
would like
roughly?
to find a picture. I'm going to say that it was like a 50s to 60 deer.
Nice.
Yeah, it
Kid
was a
pumped?
great deer.
Was he
oh
pumped?
my gosh, yeah.
That's
Yes,
awesome.
Yeah.
That's a cool story.
It was a good story.
Were you impressed with his stamina?
I was
to be able to,
impressed with this kid now.
Yeah.
I was impressed. Yeah, Bo.
Not. His name was Bo.
His name was Bo.
Not like this kid. I take him out, shoots at a. Did I ever tell this story? Can I tell this story of taking you out as a kid?
Oh my God.
I love telling the story. So how old were you?
7th grade.
7th grade. So how old are you?
Probably about
12 or 13.
12 or 13.
So he wasn't this kid. Okay. It was cold. It was cold. Friend of ours let us go hunting, and that. And I want to come back. Don't let me forget to come back to youth season, and just come back to those kind of questions. So it's youth season, and Chris, my aunt or uncle, calls me and says, "Hey, a friend of ours said he can hunt, and it's a really great property. You know which one it is." And I'm like, "Yeah, I just want to see what's on this property, so I'll take Chris hunting." And I remember we're like in the vehicle driving there, and I'm like, the weather's nice. I felt like the rut was kind of later that year. I'm like, Chris, there's a really good chance we might see, there's a lot of does. I'm like, there could be a great chance we could see a great buck, So we get out there, and this is just somebody pointed, there's a stand in that location, just go and sit. And I've taken deer out of it. I'm like, okay, whatever. So I'm just taking him for youth season. So we get out there, and here's the stand. I mean, like 12 feet in the air on the one tree that's dangling over the you're like sticking out like a sore thumb. And we're doubled up. I mean, if there's a deer 400 yards away, they're like, what in the hell?
Also, where that stand was, it's also off of a knoll. So, like, if a deer stood on top of the field, they're with eye level.
Yeah, we're looking eye to eye with them in the woods. So we're on the edge of the woods in front of us. We're sitting on the edge. We're sitting on the edge. Once again, I did not have anything to do with the stand. I didn't know what stand. I want to repeat that. So the stand, it goes up.
I had nothing to do with that either.
No, you just a little kid. I think that was like one of your first, you hadn't hunted, but
a couple times before.
Couple times.
Yeah.
So goes up, okay, rolls up a grass field. On the right hand side's a ridge, a woods, a real nice thick woods. We're there 10 minutes, 5 minutes, and I look over, and and I'm not exaggerating, there was a 170-inch buck walking across the ravine 60, 70 yards into the woods. And I look at Chris and I go, get ready. There's a buck coming. And he goes, yeah, no, shut up. And I'm like, no, I'm not messing around. Get your safety off. Get ready. Get the gun up. And so here he comes. He just kind of moseys down 30, 40 yards right in front of us. He goes, I got to put my headphones on. My mom said I got to put my, and I said, fuck your headphones, take the safety off, point the gun at the deer, and shoot the deer. So the deer walks out. Ba-boom! Deer stands there and looks at us. I said, shoot him again, or shoot at him again. Ba-boom! Ba-boom! Crunches all three of them. Nothing.
No,
I think
that was false.
that's not false.
The first shot I hit, he spun, and you said, oh my God, you might have got him.
Yeah, and I said, shoot him again.
And then he stood back up, and you're like, shoot him again, and then I put the last
That's
two
right.
into him.
That's you didn't put
Well, I
any
didn't
into
do
him.
anything to
yeah,
him.
you didn't put anything into. We had
was
time to
just-
reload another bullet and shoot at him as he's running away. I mean, he stood there long enough. I took the gun from him, load a bullet. So then the other part of the story is that buck runs off. I mean, a beautiful buck. And he runs off and he goes into the woods, and it is cold. I will give Chris this. It was cold. And there's like 30 deer that pile out 200 yards in front of us in this field. And I'm like, there's no way that they're going to come. They're looking at us. But I said something could happen again. So I'm like, I'm not one to leave the woods. I'm like jacked up after that. We're like looking at the deer, watching deer. We're like an hour and a half in the hunt. And he's like, I'm cold. Are you ready? And I'm like, what? No, I'm not ready.
I'm actually pretty sure it was snowing on us.
It
too.
was snow. It was cold. It was
cold.
yeah,
I'm
but
not throwing an excuse out.
I was like, what do you need, my jacket or something? I don't want to leave. You just shot at a buck that most guys won't see in their entire lives. And, young little Chris was done.
Do you remember the guy that was bow hunting and he came out through there too? And he was like, yeah, I saw a nice buck ran out in front of me, and he goes, there was a chunk taken out of its ass end. Do you not remember that
No, I
part?
don't remember that part.
It was might have to block it out, but that Harford guy.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
The Harford guy, because then we were like, because we sat there and then out of
You
nowhere,
didn't hit that deer, though.
No, I
Chris.
don't think I
You
did.
didn't hit the deer. We're not going to
Again,
play it
I'm
up
not
like you
gonna-
hit
I
the deer.
thought that I heard this story and somebody came through looking for the deer or something.
Did he come through the woods?
he came through the woods. Like that deer took off that way and he came
Did
back
he
this
shoot?
way.
Did he shoot at the deer?
I don't remember that.
I just don't remember
that
I don't remember after the story, but there was something like that. I mean, it was a beautiful buck. I mean, so then I think you went a couple years and you didn't hunt really after that, did you? Did you hunt much after that? And then you kind of got back into
I
it.
hunted like once my freshman year and then didn't
Then,
do it in junior
after
year.
7th grade, then if you're sports, then you're
Yeah, that's pretty much
into
what it was.
sports and-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we were there 10 minutes and I'll never forget. He's like trying to put these muffs on to muzzle the noise. And I'm like, Chris, I'm gonna fucking snap those headphones and I'm like, just shoot the deer. I mean, like having a conversation with a deer standing right out there.
Sounded like Corey was a very calming effect for
Yeah.
you in the tree stand.
It was not.
I have a similar story. Dad actually told the story on Fox. Remember the whole 6 does run out in front of us? I'm pumped. So I got, we all have our, I was just.
But so Gary Colmer that was on here who was with the DNR and everything, talking about the hunting and the hunting hours and stuff. So, here you are with a youth or with somebody, and we would have that 2-day gun or muzzleloader or whatever. He would be sitting with his kid on a snowy day, and the time would be over 30 minutes before sunset. That's what it used to be.
The time would be over 30 minutes before sunset?
30 minutes before sunset.
Oh my gosh. Well, how long ago was that?
Look that up.
That was just for youth, or that was just for...
just hunting in general.
I was a part of the sunset. When the sun set, it was
So
done.
what are we now?
30 minutes after.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you can hunt.
No. So it was just sunset.
And it's still bright as can be at
Yes.
sunset.
So at like sunset on a snowy day, it was like complete daylight out
Yes.
or whatever. And it was like, and there he was, froze his butt off all day with his son, in the evening hunt. And it's broad daylight out and they haven't came out yet. And he's then kind of realized this is kind of ridiculous.
Yep.
So I said, so is it a safety? Then I would try to corner if it was a safety thing or what it was.
Yeah.
So if it was a safety thing, how come you can shoot 30 minutes before in the morning?
Right.
So
Yeah.
you could shoot 30 minutes. So
Yeah.
it's dark in the morning, but yet it's sunset.
I think about 8 years ago, I shot a deer. I shot a buck, and it was like maybe a 139.
Yep.
But it was like at that 20 minutes after with a bow, 20 minutes after sunset. And ever since then, I'm like, I will never do, because it is hard to, I've always said, I think the law should be 15 minutes before or 15 minutes after, 20 minutes before. I think 30's too long. And I think, we do have those full moons or we do have those snows that kind of carry. But, have you ever shot a deer 30 minutes before the sun comes up? I mean, it's hard to see. I mean, I can't see.
I never have.
I mean, I can't see.
Yeah.
I can't see until, if you're in the woods, you can't see
Yeah,
until.
if you're in timber, you can't.
Yeah, it's almost like at sunrise. Then that's
Right.
when you can see. And at 30 minutes after sunset, it's pitch black. I mean, I'm getting out at sunset if I can get out. So, I made that mistake one time. Hunted too long, and I was much younger, and I shot a deer that I thought was, wasn't a bad deer. I wasn't disappointed, but it wasn't the deer that I thought it was. So I never did that again. I was like, I will always for sure make sure that you can.
That definitely happens with clients and stuff.
Yeah.
They shoot at a body and they think it's him, and
It's not.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got to make sure. You got to make sure. I was going to ask with your outfitting business, and we can even talk about, I know turkey hunting, even we can bring this into the conversation. Youth seasons. Did you ever do anything with anybody's
yes,
kids, turkeys, or deer?
So when I would take a lot of turkey hunters, I mean, yes, we always took turkey. We always took turkey or kids
Youth.
turkey hunting
Because is it the week before?
So it has changed. It has changed. It used to be the weekend before, like the weekend before on turkeys, and then I think it's now a full week before. Like it has changed.
Yeah, I think it's the weekend before
Correct.
the weekend of it opening.
Correct.
Full
And
weekend.
it didn't used to be like that.
Yeah.
It didn't used to be like that.
But I mean, from a turkey hunting standpoint, that's a great time to be a turkey
from a
hunter.
turkey hunting standpoint, it is a good time. And I've had lots of great youth hunts because they definitely had it structured for turkeys for the kids to get one.
Yeah.
It was good.
That was fun.
Yeah. And deer wise has changed as well. The weekend has changed for deer.
I'm not even sure what weekend.
It's now a full week ahead of when it used to be.
Is it?
So it used to be, it was always on the Michigan Ohio State game because I would miss the Michigan Ohio State game,
Okay.
and now it got bumped back a week. So it's now like the teens.
Is it that early?
It's like 18-19 weekend now, and it used to be.
Youth gun season is the November 22nd and 23rd.
Yeah. So right around there, depending
So
on what.
it is now.
Yeah. So it probably falls between the 18th and the 20. Do they change that every year, or is it those dates? It's got to be the weekend, right?
Yeah, it's that weekend.
So it's whatever. I think you fall forward or
So that's
fall.
the weekend before Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Man, I thought that this year, that the 1 year, I thought it
was
was
2 weekends?
2 week, or it was the week before that this past year.
No, I think you're right, Joel, because I remember when
Because I did not know, like this year, somebody said it was youth, and I said, no, it's not. It's the next weekend, and it was that weekend. So this past year, I'm pretty sure that it was like 15, 16 or something like that.
Well, I know when, shout out Joe Brenner for taking me hunting, but Joe Brenner used to take us, and I feel like it was like when I was a kid, we were like in the teens and he was like, you guys are in perfect. We're like, he wanted to try to get us to sit all day because he's like, something can happen at any moment,
Yeah, look up the 2024 season youth hunt.
yeah, youth gun season for 2024 was November 16th and 17th.
Oh my gosh.
So they did away with that this year.
Yeah,
And
this
bumped
year
it
it's
back.
That's because
People complained about it.
I'm guessing because every son or father or daughter was
Right.
Take
Your 5-year-old kid hunting
Yeah.
with you and a gun. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You didn't
So I knew it. It was 16 and 17
Gosh,
last
dang.
year.
that is like, that is primo time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then this year it's back to being the weekend before Thanksgiving. Okay.
Which I still think that's a great time to go.
It's still a good time.
That's still a great
Still a
time to
good
go.
Yeah. But not quite as intrusive as, slamming right there on.
But I don't, Chris, and maybe you can ask. This probably be a great question for GPT. But I would be curious on youth hunters I was a youth hunter starting in like 2000. No, that's too young. Maybe just go from 2000 to 2025. What the youth
Yeah.
hunt?
See how our youth hunters are.
I bet we're
are-
gonna.
are-
I bet we're gonna be disappointed.
really.
I bet the numbers are way down.
I mean, Gary would do he would do a hunter safety course for all kid. Like if there was a whole bunch of people that had kids,
Yep.
he would do a hunter safety course.
He did mine.
And and we could sit with our kid and read the questions to him and everything, and then I would do the, is it A, B, or C?
I remember that was kind of
And Gary basically was passing everyone.
Yeah,
I mean,
you just
he
want-
said it's up to the parent to educate.
Yes, yeah. The piece of paper is not going to. So, did I ever tell you the other story of why I don't like gun hunting? Did I ever tell you this story?
No. Did you get like a black eye or something? Or no?
No, that was with you when I split my eye.
Yeah.
The probably the second year of hunting, so I'd have killed my first buck when I was 13. I was probably 14. We went out, and once again with Joe Brenner and JR, JR, I loved hunting, and I got my dad that was more than willing to drop me off with, and Joe had great spots. JR and Joe had great spots up there where where they hunt.
Yep.
And so Joe goes, there's a bottom area and it's real thick, and he goes, there's always does bedded down there, and he goes, I'm gonna walk around the wind direction. He Joe knew how to hunt, right?
Yep.
And he'd killed a lot of deer through his life, and so he staged us, and he said they're gonna run right through here, and so he walks down and he pushes through, and I remember does come hopping out, and JR's over here, I'm here, and I followed the deer with the gun and pulled the trigger. And when I pulled the trigger, it was like, when I shot, it was like JR's like, I heard the bullet go by me. And from then on, I bet I haven't gun hunted. Now I've gone out with people and I've taken a gun, but I haven't shot, and I've had plenty of opportunities to shoot does. I haven't shot a gun at a deer in probably 12, 15 years, 10 years. 12. Ever since then, I've just kind of shied me away from gun hunting, because you make a mistake like that and it just scars you. It makes you
Yes,
think,
it would.
and JR was freaked out and, whatever. And we were all freaked out, and we told Joe, and he said, yeah, don't do that. But ever since then, I'm not a big gun guy.
Same that buck that I took to Rick when he lived in his mom and dad's basement and everything. That was a gun kill.
That was a gun kill.
Yep, and I never had gun hunted since.
All of your deer, all of your mounts are just, you have one gun kill. Wow, it's impressive, Joel.
Yep.
One of these days we're gonna have to just do like a TikTok video and walk through and show the deer here, there, piled. I mean, because I know the antlers. I know we have them, we put them in the videos, but it doesn't do it justice when you go into the locker room. There's a pile of 15 of them or so stacked on top of each other. So
And that's minus 10 years.
yeah, minus 10 years.
Yeah,
that's right.
Of no hunting. So
Yeah, and minus 1 because he threw it away. What was the reason you threw it away again?
There's two. So I killed 2 good Kansas bucks, and I didn't do nothing with either one of them.
Jeez.
Yeah. Well, the one I said was, I pulled into Rick's and it was covered with ticks, and he said, "Get that thing out of here." And so I think I brought it home, and then I think I just cut its head off, and then I think it laid there and got stinky, and
Just got rid of it.
and then I just pitched the
Yeah.
thing. Yes, I did.
So what's the so going back to, we didn't really get into the deer hunting side of youth season. Did you ever do specific clients' kids?
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely did.
Those were you and the parents sitting with them?
So there was a little bit of both. I mean, there were some where it was just me and the kid, or there was some where I would set the parent up,
With
the
the
guy
kid.
that hunted with me, and so lots of killed some very nice bucks with kids.
Yeah.
Some really nice bucks.
Anything that, any stories that come to mind with little kids taking a nice deer or getting excited or something that happened?
So
Even your kids. I mean, your kids have beautiful deer.
I never took my kids had never gun hunted.
Yeah, they're all bow.
Yeah, they were all bow. But the old infamous horse trailer where Vinny Scancarella shot his great big deer out of. So there must have been, so whatever youth season was during that time, a camera I had, here it is, youth morning, and I had a picture of Vinny's deer walking into the thicket at the horse trailer. And then some other deer walking in. So I put he was a good hunter, a good customer of mine, and his son was here. And I think they got here at, that morning. They had drove along, like through the night or whatever, got here. I let them sleep just a little bit. It was daylight. And I said, you're going in for the day. So they sat there all day long. And then right before dark, they shot. And I assumed that it was the
Giant.
Vinny Scancarella deer.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what the picture looked like. And my customer, he's texting me, I don't think it's him. And it was like another booner,
Just a stranger.
like 172 or 173 inch stranger that just, I'd never seen him before.
And then Vinny came after.
And then Vinny came then the next week and shot his out of the horse trailer.
Wow. So I posted that video. I need to repost it because I got frustrated. It kept getting taken down on TikTok.
What video?
You sent me the video of rebuilding the horse trailer.
Oh, okay.
You sent me all that great
Yeah,
information.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
So I posted it. It was taken down. I'm like, sometimes just like it says TikTok guidelines, whatever. So I posted it again. I had bad internet, and actually you just remind me of it. And it got taken down again. And I'm like, what the hell? And so I found out you can't, on Facebook, you can post the shot or you can post the videos, and on YouTube you can, but on TikTok you cannot. And I attached those pictures of the two deer on the tail end, and they kept taking, because I was making a time lapse
So
video.
you can't have a dead
No,
deer?
you can't even. So they took down one of Rick's videos because he was holding the pictures of the picture. It was the video of the picture of the three. Remember, he had the three deer that he was talking about. It took down one of his videos because it had a picture of a deer in the video. And I'm like, I'm talking within minutes. The system can recognize
so
that.
let me get this straight. There can be people saying what they were saying
Yes.
about
Charlie
Kirk.
Yeah, celebrating
And
his
that
death.
can be on there.
Yes.
But somebody holding a deer cannot.
No.
Yeah, that fucking algorithm needs change.
Yeah, it's a little ridiculous. So I do need to repost that video. I just have to because that was a cool video. Yeah, I know, it's ridiculous.
Can we show the deer's eyes and horns? Or
I think it was. I really don't know why.
there blood
There
in it?
might have been blood in it. That might have been a little bit of
Yeah.
blood in it or something.
That's
Or
probably
there
the
was a
reason.
bow. I don't know. I would have to. Hey, something else?
because that's kind of part of the story. I mean,
Yeah, I know. I don't.
I bet there was blood. There had to have been blood in it.
because I have
definitely.
definitely seen, I think, a shot
They-
and maybe impact and stop.
They
and
cut
that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I did have a question. I want to start taking with our software that we use to make our shorts. I want to take all of Joel's videos and do like a part 1 through part 50. Do you think we'll get in trouble for that? If I take the YouTube link and cut it up in the shorts and then post the shorts, repost them? Because when I post on YouTube, it asks me, can somebody use your video and make short clips out of it? Like they can take our video and make short clips out of it. And I always say, yes, of course I want that. But I'm going to start doing that with Joel's hunts. Because Joel's got maybe 5 or 6 hunts on, that's been videoed and that are out there on movies or ESPN or, Dominant Bucks or whatever, Hunt Masters. Yeah, so I want to start chopping those up. I say this, and I was going to do it on Sunday. I ended up getting home and crashing out. I was kind of tired. Went out with his aunt and uncle all day, and then met up with my mom and dad on Saturday. And then we went golfing at the simulator, and then I helped Chris set his blind on his new spot and brush the hell out of it. I know you. We did.
Just so we can shoot.
You really can't tell. Like it's there.
Can
Yeah.
you shoot?
Oh yeah, yeah. You can shoot. So okay, so I wanted to ask you this and this is kind of a tip for people. So I hate the black holes too, but so it's got so the blind is 60 inches wide, and it's got one of those long windows.
Yep.
What we left open for Chris was about 2/3 to 1/2 of so it's all the way up on the one side, and then mostly down on this side and slightly up. So it's kind of like starts skinny, gets fat, and then one window. That's what we left open.
I just did one today, and I like in the middle. I will keep in the middle, so that way inside they can take their chair and go this way, like
They can sway to the center or
correct.
the
They can go with their chair one way or the other,
it's so
but I kept it nice and big. But then this was in standing corn, and on the sides, so I will take so if I pop a blind up, I will go from the hub, the little circle on this side, and the little circle on this side, the two opposite sides, and I will run a piece of string real tight around the perimeter of it for me to stick my shit in.
Yeah.
I don't use their little cheesy loops.
they
that
don't
are
even have them anymore.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I will go real tight with a piece of string, and then all the corn that I cut off to put in the first row, then I'll stash it, so it's like completely solid. And then I will, since it's going to be 10, 12 days before it gets hunted or whatever. So there's probably some leaves dangling in front of the black hole right now. And then whenever the person goes to hunt, they can just
snip 'em
kind
out.
of snip them out or whatever.
So I was
But
questioning.
regardless, they'll get used to the black hole.
I questioned that. I was like, because now Joel, talking to you and doing this podcast, I question almost everything I do now. Again, I always felt like I had a good system. Now I'm like questioning everything I do. And I thought about leaving some stuff dangle to break up the black holes and then removing it.
And then just kind of.
And then I was like, you know what? We're probably 12, 13 days out.
They'll get used to it.
Because literally a human would walk by. If you didn't see, you have the far right window open, and then the center window is 2/3 closed, and then everything else. So that's what we're kind of probably about 15 to 20% more open than what you have.
If there was a video of the deer out there, there will be the one doe will be out there going,
Yeah.
looking at it, and then after a couple days,
Yeah.
then if she don't give a shit about it, nobody else does.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah. I think
Should I show Joel a picture of it, see if he can
did you take a picture?
the one camera?
Oh
you
yeah,
can see
yeah.
it.
I want to see the picture. Bring it on over and show because the camera took a picture and you can.
Took a picture and you can
So
see across the field.
we did not have a lot to work with because I didn't realize that there's a piece of tile, okay, on the, and we'll talk about him falling in the tile.
A piece of tile.
Yeah, I'll explain it. Can you?
I take it it's right in there.
Oh, you can't even see it.
No, is that it?
right there.
Wow.
Yeah, I get a little excessive, but I like to make it to
There's
where.
also a 7-foot hole right in front of it too.
So what
You
happens?
fell in.
So what happens is it's. Oh, I see it now. Yeah, you can see the black hole. You can see the black hole right there.
But pretty good though, man.
Yeah.
No, they won't have never mind of that.
So where it was, I did not realize. This is the second. By the way, there's corn. That one center between the two woods is corn.
There is some corn there.
So I felt like once I got out there and understood it, I told Chris a south wind. They're coming from that woods. This is a staging area. They're making a decision between beans and corn right there. And I said, this is where it's going to happen. So that's where we set up. And that's, we are good. We're actually good with a north wind, probably with an ozonics, but we're not good with a north wind. So north, northeast, east, southeast, we're not good. Everything else we're good.
The season opens, it's going to be some sort of W. I'm seeing
then-
west, northwest, west, southwest.
If we get south, southwest, or even west, he will potentially, because we're gonna start flicking some corn, and make it happen. Where are you getting your stuff at? Don't say the brand, but where are you getting it at? Where you buy that by the pallet, or
No, so I'm kind of the same. I will.
you start with
If I'm
that?
flinging a little bit, I'm just got it at Tractor Supply.
They have that there, just because I always like to start with something like that, and then just switch the corn.
Same, and then
Yeah.
and then I got a gravity wagon that I'll get filled.
Yeah. So I told him, I
So
said,
if you need some,
Yeah.
or if you need some, you can just fill up a couple bags or whatever, because I'll have a hopper wagon here.
yeah.
So
I said, the season opens the 27th. I said, let's start. I want to start having him flip it around the 20th. I don't want him to, and that's a big, from where we're at to the edge. If they walk through, it's 50,
let's talk
55
about
yards.
that. I will. People will send a picture, and it'll look like they have something as big around as this circle and like this deep
Corn.
of corn.
Yeah.
And
Right now.
like right now,
Or
like
earlier.
summer and stuff, or the end of summer, and corn's kind of the like small deer. If they binge on it, it will gas
'em.
up and kill them and
Yeah.
stuff. So if I'm doing a little bit, I have pulled in on the back of the last thing I did today, I was in a field that is the beans are still green down in the bottom, and I kind of know where the target is, and I just have a smelly good product, and just kind of, and I'm able to I ran over. It was kind of weedy along the sides. I don't have to walk or anything. I basically just backed my truck out, got on the back of my tailgate, just flung some to where, so I know what the wind's going to be for the opener. The wind's going to be blowing like this. And so my setup's over here, kind of blowing over water. So, so the smell good stuff's out here in the bean field, and it's just kind of a little, hopefully.
Yeah.
And then I climbed up the tree, and I had a Reconyx, and I put it on time lapse, and I had it running for 2 hours in the morning, 2 hours in the evening, and I'll just kind of see if I see bone out there browsing in the bean.
Yeah.
So
but you have told me, and it showed from last year, right? Last year I had a spot where I had both bucks that I wanted another cousin of mine to take. I put the corn out. Within 3 to 4 days, they were there almost every other evening. And then it's like almost they kind of got bored of it, right?
Or, I don't know whether it's that or their stomachs, an older deer,
Yeah.
because they have a different chamber stomach,
Sure.
whether that they get stoved up, I don't know.
Sure.
Or we talked about the last podcast, whether those first few times there's only 2 or 3 or him out there, and now there's like 8 deer out there, and they don't like that, and
Yeah.
and so
So I guess the point is, if you're, and we're in a state, and I know everybody's gonna be like, oh, you can bait, blah, blah. Well, we can bait in Ohio. And so if you're in a state where you can get away with that, I don't think
have I ever killed a big deer on bait? No, I've never killed a big deer over a freaking
you
bait
can.
pile.
You can though, but you can. You probably have some customers that have killed big deer over bait.
From a business standpoint, they're seeing deer. There's going to be deer.
You might not kill them over a corn pile, but you're at least bringing them to an area by flipping a little spice out there, right?
Correct. I like it to be natural,
Yep.
and they think they're bumbling across. Oh man,
Wow.
I haven't had this in a while.
Found a little kinky drop.
Versus here's a big pile like
Right.
this, and this don't seem. At
Right.
least that's the mentality that I have about
Yeah,
it.
no, I 100 like his area
I
is.
try it to be natural.
Yeah, his area is 55 yards across, 150 to 150, and we just want them to be, so the week before, I just want them to kind of be in a consolidated area, and I want to give them something they're not getting, and I want to get it done.
If you're flicking, as far as I can, and I'm saying like a half a bag. That's
Yes.
all I did was about a half a bag. And so I want it that they can be something over here and something over here. And it's also, And then another spot I did today where it's kind of a visual. So it's an alfalfa field. So kind of I know where this deer is. So I feel he's going to come out and he is going to see deer feeding out there. Follow me?
Yeah.
He's going to come out and if he sees a super picky doe that blows at everything, if she's out there feeding,
He's good.
He's good.
Yeah.
And he might he's gonna walk out.
I like
So-
I like I like a bucket, small little bucket, not a 5-gallon, but like
Same.
then the direction I want it, I chuck it. I try to get mine in like a literally if I'm staying on my truck bed, I want it 10 yards that way, 10 yards this way.
Yeah, I
10,
go as far as I can fly.
I want it.
Yeah.
I want it to where a human's not going to see it. They're just going to have to muscle it out, because I want them to work for it. I'm not going to spend a bunch of
Same.
money on corn.
Same.
You know, I just want, once again, they're in the area. I want to consolidate them to the area that I want to shoot them in.
And they don't spend that much time there.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they'll just pick around a little bit and then move on their way.
I think that I think that they use it as like I think no matter what, a deer's never going to take corn on the ground versus forage or beans or alfalfa or turnips, or they're always going to want that. They might go to this because it's a little easier, hit it as a little treat because it's easy, and then go somewhere else. I don't think they feel comfortable when it's a mature deer doesn't feel comfortable. They're like something doesn't almost if you put a big corn, they're like something doesn't feel right. Like you said, it's.
Yeah, I don't. Now, if it comes late season and it's cold and it's gonna be frozen to the ground, then I might just freaking chuck out a pile or whatever,
Right.
make it convenient and easy for them.
Well, to everything you're saying, I mean, I have a spot where I've watched 200 yards up. I've watched mature deer stand up there almost until it's dark and let the little ones go down and eat, and they'll just watch and watch and watch, and then they'll mosey down. However they wander, they'll get downwind and they'll just kind of circle in. They're not going to come running towards it.
But that's another thing, with the season about to open, and we talk about the mathematics of it and your stand placement and your this and that, and if you are baiting, they are coming downwind of it.
Yes, right,
They're coming in downwind of that.
right.
So, I mean, if you're stacked up on top of some pile and you think some big deer is going to come walking in, and if the wind is blowing that he's coming in past you,
It's not
it
happening.
ain't going to work.
Right. So I wanted to get back to this kind of a funny story. The reason why we also put the blind where we did is because it's all tiled field. Well, there's the creek that runs in the lake.
So
Well,
where it dumps into the creek.
the main tile is probably 50, 60, 70 yards back from over
like
the year.
eroded.
Yeah, over the years, it's a road, and it's like 7 foot deep, so nothing can get behind us. Nothing's crossing that. I mean, he told me we're walking up, and I'm like, I want it right against here. I want it over here. I want it there, and that's where we put it, right? And so when we get it in, I went to walk, and Chris is like, careful, the grass has grown over, and you can see it, but he said the grass has grown over, so the edge is about a foot or two in tighter. Okay. So then I go to the back and I'm kind of trimming up and I'm handing, and all of a sudden I hear wha-bam. And I'm like, he just fucking fell in the ravine. I go around and Chris is standing at the top of it. He's like, I'm fine. I'm okay.
It was like slow motion. It was slow motion, and I went to take a step, and it just started like a long step down, and I caught it, and then I just started running down the ravine, and there's little trees. I just closed my eyes and stuck my arms out, and I was like, I hope I don't stab my eyes or something.
Can't believe somebody hasn't fixed that.
I mean, it's doing the
it's-
job. It's doing the job. Yeah.
Got it.
But it's coming out. When I walked it this spring, it's coming out farther into that field. It's right on the edge of the field now, and it wasn't like that.
It's
before.
definitely eroded away.
Yeah.
So then I wanted to get him we're talking about entrance and exit. He has a beautiful wood line to walk, and I'm like, Chris, what's even more ideal is I want you in the creek. I want you to walk the creek. But Joel, we start to just get a path to the creek. And when I talk about thick, I'm like there, I mean, this is obnoxious. I mean, there is those red red mulberry, you know what I'm talking about? And I mean, there is no, I got a Milwaukee, and
Them
I'm
things
like,
are like tree trunks.
oh, dude, we're trying to, and I'm like,
And they stain you purple.
and I'm like,
Those things?
no, I don't think we're thinking about the right
okay.
ones. We're thinking of they're like the ones that are like about that big around that come
Oh,
real long.
the autumn olive or whatever it's called.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they're just like real, and I'm like, I mean, you can't, the where he's at, it's so thick, there's no going in, and I'm just like, walk the edge of the woods, because I'm like, you're going to do more damage than you are, getting in and out.
The bad
So,
part about that creek is some spots is ankle deep, and then there's other spots that you'll fall waist deep into it. Like
Yeah.
it's kind of a hit or miss.
yeah. So,
But
but
there are
he's,
some deep holes in that creek.
he's got a great spot. Now we haven't seen Mr. 160 in what, 5 days,
5 or 6,
5
probably.
or 6, but he'll, I think there's,
He's probably rubbing out.
probably rubbing out.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one 140 rubbed out. The 3.5-year-old 10 140 rubbed out. We got him 2 days ago.
Yeah.
The one of the targets for the opener was same MIA about 5 or 6 days, and I had him this morning or overnight, and he was rubbed out.
See hypothetically, what worries me about the big boy that showed up, he showed up, at that. I'm wondering if he came to rub out. That would he come to rub out and now he's gone? And
Yeah, he's there.
you think he's there?
He's there.
So Chris moved the camera so we can get more of a view of where we're hunting. We're not going to get good pictures. We're just going to see deer. So hopefully it's
we
going
got
to
2
be,
angles now.
Yeah.
And you're gonna have a couple angles too. So
if the winds, you start flicking what you're going to flick on the 20th. By the way, is that a good plan? The 20th?
Good plan.
1 week before, start
Yep,
kind of
good
flicking
plan.
it around. He can drive right back, get in the truck bed.
Yep. Good plan.
My buddy Adam Reichert, he must not be listening to the podcast. I'm gonna call out Adam. He took that video with the drone. I'm like, Adam, you did it all right, but you got to walk the bed and then fill up the. Dude, I'm weird about that. I don't want to get on the ground. I want
here.
to as many, like when Chris and I were unloading the stuff from the truck. I'm like, as few of many trips back and forth is what I want. I don't want to.
So pretty much everything that I have done for the opener thus far, I will drive and he will step in the tree.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's
and
beautiful.
0 walking. So if he don't get it done and there's some deer, I can just kind of putt in there and bump and
Yep.
it's good because there's so much activity. I mark it on the calendar. I just saw Beanfield was picked today.
So
I'll
it
pick
is.
Beanfield.
What's funny is I don't come here, but like where I'm very excited about hunting south of here, where there's a good deer.
Yep.
It's they're ahead of us by about 2 weeks.
There has to be some
they-
beans getting ready to be ran.
Yeah, they've already taken beans off. They took beans off a week and a half ago. There was 3 fields gone on our drive up right within 5 miles of the spot. So I'm like praying that they just, I hate the drought, but I also have the pond on the property. So I'm like, take the beans off or take the corn off and let's get this going.
And the problem is, so the farmers want to get the beans as soon as they can because they're like, they're basically no weight to them at all.
Well, with this kind of, they'll start dropping out of the pods. They'll get so dry they'll crack and fall out of the pods, But I was going to make a comment. Your Tim's,
The beans are already turning yellow too.
one week ago, it was bright green. Now I pull up and everything's about yellow green, and some of it in the center is like dead.
I know.
And I'm like, wow.
In 1 week.
Indian Lake is down, I think, 16 inches of water right now. They're like, everybody's like,
Is it going over the spillway?
oh, no. It's been dry out of the spillway for a month. It's like, I think they said it's lower than last year and probably lowest it's been in a long time. There's a ravine by Cranberry, an island that only pops up every so often. The water gets so low, boats can usually ride over it and the propellers miss it. It's literally sticking out of the water now about 6 inches.
So is South Fork and North Fork still flowing and everything, or do they start?
Yeah, no, I'd say everything's still flowing. It's trickling.
Yeah.
It's not, nothing crazy. I mean, that concrete pad at your place is almost like visible.
Oh yeah.
Like it's almost a dam.
It's always been visible, but right now it's
Like almost, it's like
usually,
the water.
Usually it's about ankle deep going across there.
I'd say knee.
or a little bit more
Yeah.
maybe.
Now
But
it's about 1 inch
yeah.
covering,
Wow.
It's,
When you can see tire tracks going over it.
it's getting dry.
It's getting dry.
Water's important right now, right?
Yeah, you need what?
It's critical.
Yeah, One spot I did today was I just bumbled across some water on somewhere, and it looked like it was getting annihilated. And
Was
I
it?
popped a camera up on it and see
Yeah.
what's happening there. So
Where the other property I hunt that way,
Yep.
he just got back from Florida and he called me, and I forgot to call him on the way here. I want to talk. I'm going to put I think just for easeability, I'm going to take a 55-gallon drum, cut it in half, and lay out both sides. And
Oh, okay.
you know,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I have easy access. I mean, once again, I might be able to talk to him and just have him turn on the hose for me and give him kind of the procedure, and you know, because he doesn't care.
Yeah.
He's all about. He loves to be. You know, where I hunt, kind of like some of your clients, he's like part of it. You know,
he wants to know what you're seeing.
yeah,
and-
yeah. Like I get texts when I'm out there, like, "What's going on? What's
Yeah.
you know?" He loves to see the pictures and you know keeps an eye out for me on what's going on. So, anyways, you guys want to take a quick break? So, all right. So, everybody, we're back from our break. We ran out of
I was hungry.
oh, well, I was gonna say we ran out of Tito's in our air. Or what do I drink? What's it called?
Rain.
No.
Make it rain.
Rain vodka, which I'll buy us Tito's. I don't feel like you like the rain. You know, like the
I'm
rain.
Tito's guy.
All right, I'll buy you
Drinking like Sissy Sirocco or something right now.
pussy drinking your Tito's. He doesn't want to go for the half price stuff. I'm drinking Ohio vodka right now.
That's
But I
so
was
the,
looking for the strawberry lemonade vodka. You told me that was over there.
The Skankarellas always bring a Buckeye. They bring Buckeye vodka.
Made that one a little tart.
They
Little
still have a
tart.
website.
They do?
What's it called?
EHD Fence.
And where are they out of?
Yes.
EHD, we were talking about this, everybody, before we got on. EHD Fence is, we talked about last episode, they come in tablets or like a liquid or like a salt that you throw in the water that supposedly kills or, you know, works to do whatever the MIG, is it called MIGs?
Midge.
Midge parasite.
It
kills it.
It basically, you know, kind of looks like a mosquito.
So
Really.
Chris he saw somebody online that had and this I think is a great idea, goldfish in their watering holes. Because goldfish, like they do that for horses and cows. They put goldfish in the watering tanks out in Texas, Montana, Utah, because they eat everything bad. They eat everything bad in the water. So, I mean, that's a natural way.
Goldfish in, and then you got carp this big
Yeah.
then in your water.
Yeah, but I mean that's a real way of controlling algae and parasites and things. Is I know that. Correct me if I'm wrong, somebody that's watching this, but if they get, you know, cows and horses get parasites, the goldfish will eat that and it won't. So I'm wondering if it does the same thing with the MIG. Is it Midge?
Midge.
Midge.
Midge fly. Yeah.
Midge fly. So EHD Fence. Chris is looking up where they're out of.
I mean,
I don't know where they're out of. It doesn't really say.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been looking. I don't.
because it would be, you know, be
I
cool
mean-
to somebody I would like to have on here and discuss.
I
that
mean,
and
what
everything.
I would like is a freaking jar of these midge, and then put them in water, and then throw the
'Cause
tablets in and see if it kills them.
you see you're seeing all this stuff that people like if you put in your own, you know, be it your own water sources
Yes.
here and there and try, and it sounds all fine and dandy, but here's the problem. I mean, you can't make a deer go drink out of. I've seen the nicest, cleanest stream of water and a shitty ass puddle, and they go drink out of the shitty ass puddle.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, you can't make a deer go drink out of. I mean,
Looks
Yeah.
like Wisconsin.
Wisconsin. Well, isn't that?
that makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of at least CWD Central.
Yeah.
CWD Central, but
I saw Gary Comer. Hi, Gary. I saw Gary posted something on Facebook, and he shared something with us too.
He shared that same story with us, and it was basically a story from Wisconsin landowners on how CWD has ruined their.
They were talking about whether it's not a big deal, or they're saying it's a big deal.
They're saying it's a big deal.
And
how
Gary-
CWD affected how badly it affected their farms.
And Gary was saying if we don't,
That it will become bad in the future.
Gary's post, I think, said something like, if you think it's going to be, you know, your grandkids or what, no, it's us. So we'll just, you know, we'll see how it shakes out. I know we beat that one to death. I know, but
I know, but but it seems like the areas that I know where deer have been found dead, it seems to be like, swampy areas and stuff,
yeah,
like not creeks and it seemed
not
like
fresh flowing water.
no, that seemed like swamps that dried and still had water in them, and that's where
almost like a marsh or a wetland.
yes, that type of stuff is where the deer that have been found around here, I feel, is where they've been found dead at.
So Gary, when I clip this, I want to see your comments on what we're talking about right now.
So, yeah, I mean, I have not found a dead deer and I've been on a lot of creeks and everything, and ones that had water and ones that had very little water, and
Yeah.
so
Yeah. And by the way,
knock on wood.
we love Gary, by the way.
We do.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gary shot like a 10-foot gator.
What?
Yeah,
Gary went gator hunting?
yeah.
Did
yeah.
he post that on Facebook?
Yeah, Gary likes those accessible by Colmer. He calls them ABC hunts, accessible by Colmer. He's not going to go trudge through the mountains and stuff. He's killing gators and
Yeah.
sheep in Texas
Right.
and stuff like that. So
So I got to tell you guys,
Gary does adventures.
I saw a video online, and this is just off topic. I saw a video online of a guy that built an acrylic box and got into the ocean with the great white, and they were chumming around him. It was an acrylic box, and then he's floating on the water, and the acrylic box is like 2 feet deep, and the shark is chumming around him, and they're doing video and stuff. And the shark comes up directly from the bottom and blows through the acrylic box and tries to bite the guy. Went right by his body, and they got him out of the water before the shark. Did you see that video? No. Unbelievable. Watch that video.
He's in an acrylic box.
He's in an acrylic box, kind of filming.
I feel like that was it. The Jackass guy or something?
No. This was like
Yeah, he puts a hook and goes trolls with himself.
Yeah, this is like like when you see this great white, you're like, I mean, it's from that wall to there. It's like a 20-foot great white. That might be an exaggeration. I don't know. It's a big great white, and it blows through the acrylic box. When its mouth opens, it's the size of his body, and it blows. He got really lucky; it blew right by him, and then he climbs onto the box, and then they pulled him out of the water. Pretty intense.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'll be looking that
Yeah,
up.
I'll send it to you.
Yeah, I'll be looking that up.
So Joel, we've talked. So we got a couple things to talk about here. What time is it? It's 8:00. We're gonna end at 8:30, 8:45. Okay.
And my wife just sent a text that said hot tub with a bunch of question marks. So
Okay, 8:30 it is. You got
8:30.
35 minutes?
I told her I'll be up shortly.
Okay. So I want to knock through a couple things, but if we don't get to them all, that's fine. I got drones. I got this buck behind me. And then I also have, oh my gosh, I had a third one. That's fine. Those two. So let's
We
relate.
did have a third one, or what was it?
The third one. Oh, I just wanted to ask about, I know I ask you this every week. Let's kind of start off with this. I ask you this every week. We are 12 days away from opening season. Hunters coming in. Anything you want to update us with? Anything going on? We are in a severe drought. I think Joel had said Ohio and California, like we're kind of in a bubble. Everybody's in a drought, but we are in a bubble of, we've had maybe one rain. I've had one rain in 6-7 weeks. I've mowed my yard once in 7 weeks. So we are in a severe drought right now. Our local lake, I think, is 16, 18 inches more shallow than what it was.
Yeah, my yard now crunches when I walk across it. It crunches.
So what are you seeing as you're 12 days away? Are you happy with what you're seeing or no?
So it's like, the guys that are coming, they're like texting, what's happening, what's going on? And it's like these dates right through here are like ever evolving and changing, you know.
Rub
I said they're rubbing out. Water's an issue right now. I guarantee before you come, crops are going to be being ran.
Yep.
Acorns are dropping. I mean, I'm in the woods, and there is a lot of acorns.
Yep.
Seen a lot of acorns on the ground.
Variables everywhere.
So there's lots of variables. So it's going to be basically next week.
Yeah, you'll have the plan.
I will have
2 days before.
Correct.
I mean, that's what
about probably Tuesday, Wednesday of next week. Hopefully,
2 guys coming in. Do you have?
there's 3 guys coming.
3 guys.
And, so either 2 will go with me, 1 with Tim, or whatever. We'll divide it up and get killed.
Do you still have your 4 or 5 targets? Are they still the same, or
Yeah.
have they rotated?
Yeah,
They're still the
I
same?
still have one was gone for a week. He rubbed out, and he's back, and he's there. One eye, I do have him in velvet, maybe a week ago, so he's there as well.
So that's the second or third picture you gotten of one eye this year.
I think through the whole year, one early, one in the middle, and then one here recently. So he is there.
You gotta promise me if you guys kill one eye to call me so I can come over and,
And
see
he's,
this deer.
he's once again the smallest that but
You said he went down.
He could be still knocking on 160, is
Yeah.
either he might have a 9th point, but he's basically a big 8 now. So, but
I mean,
he's
because
still,
last year he was 175.
yeah, he was probably 170s last year.
God,
Yeah,
you
he went
can't
down
kill
a
the
bit.
handicapped deer. Joel, what kind of outfitter are
No
you?
doubt.
No, I'm kidding.
The problem is, when they live 3/4 of their life off of you and they're only on you for a little
Right.
1/8 of the time,
You're
kind of rough.
It's like you're getting one shot at him a year.
Yeah.
And you got to be there
Yeah.
2 shot,
Yeah.
You know he's there, and then you got to hunt. You got the one opportunity.
I feel we got a crack at them.
Good.
Yeah, I like the beans, and the beans in this bottom are still all green in the bottom.
Yeah.
All the tops are yellows. Up on the top is yellow. Down in the bottoms is all green still as of today. I was just there. So, and I just hung a stand still.
So that was, I want to go back to Chris's spot. It's not even something I said to him. So because of the wood line and I think this is something people should pay attention to, the wood line, and because of the sun, right now, the whole edge, on the back side of us, where I think the deer are staging in front of us and making their decision on what they're doing that evening, depending on the
They like
wind.
shadows. Keep that in mind.
They
Yep.
like, there you go. They like
When
shadows.
when it's that hour before dark or whatever, or 45 minutes before dark, they like if sun's out here, they like the shadows.
So to that
You're good.
point, the shadows are in front of us, but because of the wood line, the whole edge, the whole 20 yards in, all the way down, the beans are green as can be. Green as can be. And I just in the back of my head, I keep thinking, we get that south wind, we're flicking a little whatever in front of us. It's a staging area. They're rotating as the sun goes down. I think we're in a great spot. I think it's playing out in my
They
head.
will. I mean, if there's one little area in the field that the beans are still green, that's where they're on those.
Chris, is the whole edge of that woods not bright green still?
Oh no, they're all bright.
I pointed to you and I said, look, and I said down the whole, 20 yards in, because of where the sun goes down, it's all green.
I just looked at my cameras and the does are back.
Good.
So,
Good. We got deer back. I just want to see deer. I just want deer out there right now.
Nice.
So, I mean, and I always get nervous. You go into a spot and we put in a mock scrape, we put in the blind, and then, we drove up, we parked in a certain area, and we got back in the vehicle, we pulled up, he adjusted the camera, and then we pulled up and then we got out. We're trying to use the truck as much as possible, but when you're there for an hour and a half, I hate that. I'm like,
So another thing to consider is, I know I've hunted Kansas a couple times when it was so dry. It was just like this. There's basically there's no scent.
I was
because
thinking
it's
it was
dry.
I was thinking it was worse. Oh, because moisture creates scent, right?
Yeah.
That's why when it sprinkles, I think deer like that because it intensifies scent, right?
It's when it's so dry, there is nothing for the scent to lay down on. So
Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
So do you want to, I got 2 questions for you. I want to talk about drones and how they've evolved and how we use them and some things I've seen on the internet. And then I want to talk about this buck behind me.
Yep.
Which direction would you like to go?
Let's talk about the drones because
Okay.
I mean it seems like it's kind of new in the past year or two, and I feel now it's starting to get
So
starting to where there's going to be regulations come around.
I haven't seen anybody relate it the way I'm going to relate it, but do you feel like the same conversations were happening around cell cams about drones when they first come out? I mean, because that was a big step in the hunting world.
Probably so.
I mean, we are taking drones and utilizing them not only to recover deer, but to scout and scout unbelievably well.
I mean, now you're seeing posts on social media of, people flying over their deer and showing pictures.
What's his name, Chris?
Whitetail Research.
Whitetail Research. So, I mean, and I think it's probably great information. I saw there's a kid that's making a living. He's like 18. It's not this kid, 18 or 19 years old. And what he does is you hire him and he comes and drones your property and the surrounding properties. And then he looks at I always sound like an idiot when I say this word, topography. So he looks at the topography, he looks at the water, he looks at the food, he zooms in, he's taking the pictures of the deer. He gives the person a whole report. He'll do this for a couple evenings in a row, and then he'll give you a report. So he's making a scouting report for you at this time of the year using drones, and he's showing you what bucks are on your property or surrounding property. And I'm like, man, that's kind of getting a little, what's your opinion on that?
I mean, so when is he doing this
He's
report?
He's doing it right now.
Because, I mean, and is he doing it? So he's just doing, I take it, because you're not thermal finding them right now. So he's just doing on visual.
Why can you not thermal find them right now?
With the heat and the,
Oh yeah, you're finding them right now. I mean, you can still find them. You can still, I mean, it's not as easy, but I watch his videos
and once the sun comes up and everything warms up, he's still finding them?
He's on them, and then he's taking photos and he's sticking with that deer, and then he's switching to the real camera, and he's following that deer through the woods and stuff. And I mean, they're sitting in a truck and the customer's got a video in front of them, and they're finding that deer. They're taking pictures, boom, boom, boom. You got 8 does on your property or surrounding. You got these 3 bucks, and then they're sticking with that deer for the first 2 hours, and then that 2 hours in the evening, once they feel like they've known where he's at. And he's still using infrared in the evening, just as long as it's not getting too hot. So he's creating a whole report.
I don't like it.
He's giving his opinion.
Nah.
Yeah, that's a lot. I mean, that's pretty much.
That's not for me.
That's pretty much your.
That's taking the fun out of it.
I mean, that's putting a camera on his tail and following him around.
Yeah, no, I don't like it. I think they're...
If he's 220 inches, do you like it, or
no?
Still don't like it?
Nah, I think they're good for recovery, and that's it.
Do you guys... Tim
Yep, Tim has one.
Tim has one.
Yep, he got a thermal one.
You guys started doing that. You'd always used
the last... He got it about November, December last year.
But we
had hired somebody before. Yep. And so we did it for 2 full years. We've used it, and yeah, I mean it's pretty much the ticket for deer recovery.
I mean, you guys did it change the way that you? I mean, it probably changed the way that you completely go after a deer after you shoot them.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, it's pretty much a no-brainer. You just call them and if it's an evening hit and you're unsure, they will locate him that evening or whatever and pin him and see if he lift his head up or not, or so that way you've got a good starting point for the morning.
Yep. So you guys started utilizing drones 3 years ago?
2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Now, it could have been the end of the 3rd year. Yes. So, in other words, it may have been, I heard about it, and then January of about 3 years ago, and then, so yeah.
Don't quote me on this, Chris. You can maybe look this up, but when I shot that buck last year in Illinois, I'm pretty sure Illinois does not allow you to recover deer with a drone, but there was still services out there that you could call. I feel like they would not. There was something in their game laws.
So they basically can just fly their drone and say, if I was to look for a deer, I would probably start around here somewhere.
Yeah, it was kind of a gray area because I remember we Googled it. I had shot the deer and I had thought I put a good shot on him, and I think I hit one lung. And we ended up recovering him, but like I started looking in the day in case we went to the evening. That night, shot him in the morning. And then I remember Googling it and thinking, I don't think you're allowed to. And I looked up the law and I Did you confirm or?
I'm waiting.
Okay.
It's loading.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can't use recovery in Illinois. I could be wrong, but do you
No,
think
you can't.
You can't. That's right. But when you Google it though, to your point, there was like wildlife observatory drones that you could hire.
So
We didn't, by the way. We end up recovering.
a friend that he hunts with me from Tennessee, and it's not allowed in Tennessee, but he has one and everything, and he has people in the Tennessee Wildlife Division that will call him and say, "Think you could come and maybe look and see?" You know, like even them are calling him
Yeah.
to.
Can you come
Yeah.
out and check out what's going on?
Correct.
You know, we want to see if there's a squirrel over there.
Yeah,
We want to get a picture of this big fat squirrel.
yeah.
The squirrel weighs like 250 pounds, and he's got like weird things on his head.
I mean, I have a hard time with it being used for, you roll into your property and gonna decide what stand you're going to, that day, and you go find and see where he's bedded and deciding if you're gonna go this way, what the wind is, and if you're going this way or that way. I mean, I don't know.
I
I
100%.
think it's taken a little bit too far.
No, I 100% agree with you. I think that I would like to see it used for recovery and research. And I'm almost okay with like a cutoff on like maybe 2 weeks before the season. Like I'm okay with scouting.
Oh, okay.
Not,
Yeah.
you know,
I get that.
But like when I say research,
That's the way trail cameras are in the western states.
right.
Yeah, you can scout with them up to a certain point, and then
Yeah.
can't use them no longer.
I think you can use trail cameras in Illinois,
Oh yeah,
but you can't. They're not allowed. You can bait and mineral up to 30 days before the season starts. I think that's what.
can you? You can mineral.
I think. I'm pretty sure because Dylan and I were just talking about this. Dylan's my friend that lives out there.
I didn't even know you could mineral.
I'm
in
pretty sure
Illinois.
you can.
That's been changed. If so,
I might be wrong. I might be proved wrong here, but yeah. I mean, so I love like what's his name again? We'll give him another shout out.
Whitetail Research.
Whitetail Research. I think utilizing, like, okay, the moon phases, because there's been contradicting, you as Joel Snow, who's hunted for so long.
correct. There's a lot of studies out there that say moon has nothing to do with deer movement.
And then you have your generation that's been hunting for so long that's like bullshit,
yeah, I kind of disagree with that.
And
but yeah.
and I'm, so I would like to, I would love to see like the ODNR or, some kind of research facility utilize drones to monitor a percentage of movement or the amount of movement or the distance of movement based on moon phases. I would love to see drones used as a tool to learn more about deer. It's just like anything, right? It's an art. You play football or you're a softball coach, a pitching coach. It's all about form. Well, I want to know more information about a white-tailed deer, so I'd like drones to be used for research and recovery. Now, if you're parking your truck and you're going up and you're picking a stand based off of wind and what's going, that's not.
No,
agree.
you can't.
You
in
can't.
Illinois.
No baiting, no.
no salt, no mineral.
Okay.
Nothing.
I couldn't remember. I thought, okay. Even before season.
I mean, I'll double check
Okay.
that. I'll make sure that's not.
No, that's fine.
I'll double check.
That's
it.
fine. I was probably wrong.
It's period.
Okay.
Now, Iowa, you can have feeders up until a certain point.
I think the states that allow, it's like 30 days before.
Yeah.
30 days before they make you.
Yeah, you can feed and do stuff up until a certain point, and then
And then like I think with the mineral and stuff, you can like if you have a trophy rock out, you can have it sitting there, but if it's still visible 30 days, you have to remove it. But what's in the ground, can obviously
Illinois, it's illegal year round.
year round. Okay. No, I think so. With your outfitting business and drones and recovery, what more percentage do you think you recover because of drones?
I mean, the best thing about them is it is a 100% definitive answer for the person. They see their deer with his head up, and then you go back and he's not there the next day, and so Like it's
I double lunged him.
correct.
We're going, Joel. I double
Correct.
lunged him.
Correct.
I shot him in the heart.
I mean, you zoom right on the rack, right on the, and they know that he's alive, and then he's up and gone the next day and stuff. But you know, there were a couple that we stayed after it for a couple days, and you know,
they
like,
did expire.
that were shot, you know, clear back in the intestines, or and took a couple days, and you could tell he's sick or whatever, and you just
Stayed with him.
stayed with him, and found him, and the drone guy come the next day and found him again, and so
And eventually he just
we would have never found a couple of those deer.
no.
No,
So
because there's no blood to follow, no nothing.
So if you have 40 hunters a season and you have 60% putting arrows in deer, I think we've kind of talked those
Pretty
numbers.
much, pretty good. Yeah, about right.
Of those 60%, you're recovering 80% versus maybe 65 to 70% before drones.
Yeah, I'd say that's right.
Yeah. So you're recovering maybe an extra 3 deer a year
Yeah,
because
I would
of
say
drones.
are recovering an extra. Yeah,
I love
I'd
numbers.
say that's pretty good.
I love numbers.
An extra.
Yeah, I mean,
3 deer a year because of the drones.
I hope that they don't outlaw that side of it, because I don't want to see any deer go to waste. It's not from an outfitting business. It's not from any business. It's just a person shooting a deer. If there's a chance and you have the money,
Now, several of those extra 2 or 3 day ones, they're probably not getting eaten.
I know, but, like, I mean, just kind of
But the person gets to admire their deer for the rest of their life.
closure,
you know?
right? Because
Yes.
I mean, once you kill that deer's part of your life.
Yeah.
He's your friend almost.
He's my friend.
Yeah, I just kind of look at him like he's my friend. So I'm curious to see what happens. I think there are talks of regulating. I know that there's even talks of, like, I know those, I think Tim's brand. Do you remember the brand of his?
I do not.
It's a very well-known brand. Chris, help me out with
It was packages that a Amish guy sells. Yoder,
okay.
like he sells the whole package.
Gosh, I
know
can't
the
remember.
brand.
JCB, JYB.
It's something like that. Hang on.
I can't remember. But there was talks about,
Are
like,
they China? I mean, are they from China?
so there was an issue with the information being fed back to China. So even though you're utilizing that drone, that it's kind of like your cell phone, they're utilizing that for information.
So my friend, they sprayed all their crops this year with
Drones.
drone, and that was a big thing. Whether, like, as it was coming down to crunch time, having this drone and all of and whether it was going to be allowed or not with the Department of Agriculture and China.
Really?
I'm pretty sure it was a China drone as well.
Yeah. I mean, U.S. get better at it. I mean, because it's it's great stuff. You know, from a military standpoint, all the way to the little guy deer hunting. You know, it's fantastic information. Did you find it?
DJI.
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 Yes. And I think their Phantom, is like their DJI Phantom. Is that kind of like their, like, a $10,000 unit that kind of gets it done?
Oh, they
Like
got,
with the monitor, screen, everything?
I mean, the 2 bullet points they've got is the Mavic
Maverick.
30T and then the Matt Rice 30T.
How much are they? Like 6,700 to like $9,000?
I think that's what it was. I think
But then, all your cost is in batteries. I
Yes.
think when you get extra battery, because you can't roll into a job for somebody and just have 2 batteries. Yeah, you got to have probably 4 or 6 batteries.
I mean, Chris shot a very nice deer last year before he took his deer, and we droned it. And for me, I told Chris, I said, if, I prefer that you pay for this, I'll even split it, but I would like to know that he's still alive. I want to know that a deal, that deer at that time was probably 180, 185. I don't know.
Something like that. Yep.
And I just wanted to make sure he was still alive, and we found out he was still alive. And so that's kind of the way I like it used, just like we're talking. So, I would like to know if the AI clips this, I would like to know how people are using drones outside of, how are people utilizing drones outside of, recovery. I want to know what kind of research you're seeing. How has it changed your hunting or what's happening? So that's a question for the audience, and I'd like to see it in the comments if you think about
when
it.
I was at Lake Cumberland last week, I mean, the drones were on booby patrol the entire time. There was drones everywhere.
Look at that. That's nice.
I mean, there were probably 4 or 5 drones, and they would you would be sitting out there floating, and they would be right there in your face.
So there is some legality. I know that because where we actually droned, the neighbor got upset because we went, but I think legally you can't do anything about that.
So there is not a law of verticality with your property?
Like you don't own the earth. You don't own below the earth. You don't own own under the water. You don't own above the earth. So I think it's all
I don't
free
think you
space.
can physically own airspace.
Yeah, you can't
unless
own
you're a
airspace.
military.
Yeah, exactly. You can't own rivers. That's how people can go to Montana and get in a river and walk 3-4 miles up because the government owns that river and nobody owns it. But the same way with the earth, that's how they can put fiber optics lines in your yard underneath your house or beside your house because you don't own below the dirt. You own the surface.
So when there is a big ass tree on their side and it's hanging across on my side,
you can cut it because it's physically attached to the ground. You can cut that. We just went through that with my neighbor.
Got it. So the part that is in your airspace can be cut
because it's attached. It's attached. Yeah. So anything that's overhanging on trees on your property, you can literally take the property line straight up, and you don't have to have permission.
So if that tree falls on your roof, is it
Nope.
their problem?
No, it's your problem. Yeah, it's act of nature, apparently. We had that during a tornado. So those trees, 2 of them fell onto our house and shed, and it's act of nature at that point. So the insurance and the bylaws, that's how that works. It's kind of funny how it works. You can cut it, you can trim it, but if it falls over, it's your problem. Yeah, that's the truth. That's how it works. Thank you, Indian Lake Tornado 2024, for educating me.
All the deer are the state of Ohio's property.
Right. They're not your deer.
Huh?
They're not your deer.
They're the state of Ohio's property.
Right.
So is it not their fault if their deer hits your car?
Technically, you're 100% right.
Huh?
Technically, but the government's never going to allow that.
I mean, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Well, their statement's going to be the deer were there before the roads were.
It's right. I mean, it's right. By the way, quick statistic. And these are all averages. I saw a video on the internet that was talking about trying to estimate. Remember how I gave you guys some statistics about 200-inch deer, 170s?
Yep.
So if you take all of the bucks in the United States, I think it's about 12 million bucks are in the United States. Okay, 30 million deer, and of that 30 million, I think 40% are bucks. 12 million bucks. 200-inch. How many 200-inch deer do you think right now are on hooves estimated out of those 12 million bucks?
Well, I mean, there's only so many states that they're
even have 200-inch bucks. So
and we're talking just whitetail?
Just whitetail bucks, yeah.
So you're saying, so I'm going to say that there are roughly 6,200 inches.
You're 2,500. Huh? You're in the right range. Yeah,
2,500.
They estimate there's 20. And then I asked, okay, if every deer made it to 5.5 to 6.5 years old, what percentage of those bucks would grow to be above 200? And it was not. No. But they did say genetics, your chances of if you kill a 200-inch buck in an area, hereditary is about a 30 to 40% chance of getting there at that. But then when you take, so it's a 30-40% chance of the hereditary being passed on, then that buck has to make it to 4.5, 5.5, 6.5, and the chances, it just keeps going down.
And as much of it's the doe.
Yes, that's right. It's like when you take a horse, right? Or dogs, you're breeding, for the best. Yeah, you're exactly right. Yep. So it's a very low likelihood. I think we could probably say there's 1,000 to 10,000 200-inch bucks, and maybe the median number is 5,000.
I've done it for 26 years, and I've about had 12 in my life.
12 in your life. Yeah, yes.
12 and that I've dealt with.
And you've taken 7 or 8 of them.
Yeah.
7 or 8 of them.
but yeah, so dealt with 12 of them. So that's not very many in
2 of
25
them-
years or 26 years.
2 of them were on your
Yeah,
wall.
yeah.
So this buck behind me, kind of to end the podcast, this buck behind me, what's he score?
So that was 219.
219.
219, and that was kind of back in the beginning days of. I mean, there was nothing planned or scheduled or anything about that, but I hunted on the. Of course, we're near Marysville, Ohio, which is
Honda land.
Honda land, and they're the Honda headquarters of the United States, correct?
Yes.
Or Honda, yes.
I don't know if is it the headquarters? Look that up, but I think you're right.
Yeah,
But they own
there is 8,000 acres of no hunting back in the time.
Yep.
You know, now since they've done this
draws.
and that and draws and everything, but I mean, in my early days, it was 8,000 acres of no hunting, like primos.
Yep.
And so I had a property that was against the back of it. They had to cross a road, and then they were on me. And you know, if you're picking hunters up and you're driving around and seeing you know, just glassing deer and like, oh my God,
They're everywhere. I mean, they're just giants
everywhere. And I saw these 2 giants the night before, and they must have. So this was our late muzzleloader season, and they must have followed. A yearling must have been in heat, and they must have followed her across the road and then never came back that night.
onto your property.
And yeah, so they must have crossed the road overnight onto my property. So on our evening set, a guy from Wisconsin, they came out, and he said one was just as big as the other.
So he's hunting muzzleloader.
He's hunting muzzleloader.
He sees this buck.
Yeah, and 2 200s come out behind a yearling doe. Yeah.
Did he say they look similar?
He just said
They're both giants.
he said they were both giants. One seemed no bigger than the other.
And
I
so
just picked he said I just picked one. Yep, he just picked one. Yep,
so you
219.
physically saw the,
I saw that deer the night before.
and then you ran cameras, or you saw them on your property? I missed that.
No, I was driving around doing pickups and just glassed him on the Honda side.
Close to your property,
Yes.
and you knew there's a good likelihood.
So-
And you don't know if it was this buck or
Don't
the
know.
other
No.
giant
So
or another giant.
or another giant. So I saw a deer when I would be driving around back then. I saw a deer that I felt was 300. He had like double boat paddles. Yeah. And then
You saw a buck that was
I
3.
felt probably was pushing 3. Oh my God. So I know a friend. We purchased deer whenever I helped with the
high fence
place.
Yeah, when they were
for
getting
that
started.
year, getting
Yeah.
started. There was a person buying some deer from, and he was a FedEx driver, and this guy raised deer and knows deer. He was a FedEx delivery driver into research and development at Honda, which is kind of back through woods. And
Yeah.
so he delivered to R&D for 10 years. And he said in that 10 years, he said, I feel I've seen 2 300s during his time as a delivery driver back there.
So everybody that's listening to this and thinking you're going to run up and hunt near Honda property, you're not. And the other thing is Honda, are they still doing the draw?
Now they do a draw, and it's not
Yeah.
it's not like it used to
No.
be.
Now,
this
I-
was back in the day.
Now, I was drawn the second year that I killed a deer before, but I was drawn the second year they have all kinds of, then they had all kinds of rules, like not a motor, you had to check in, there was no motor vehicles, you couldn't use a 4-wheeler, like you killed a deer, it didn't matter if it was a mile out there, you had to drag it out, and I think you had to drag it out by yourself, you couldn't even have somebody come and help you.
Wow.
So you were the only person from a legality standpoint that could go on to that. So like I heard of guys like quartering out deer because you can't drag a deer. You know, if you have to, you can't drive your truck or four wheeler back there. They probably changed that because guys are like, how am I supposed to get this deer out? Or guys were just cutting heads off.
Quarter it up.
Yeah. So,
But so a friend of mine at the time was running security, or his company ran security. So Stan and Pat Reeve came up, and we were going to shed hunt. So we pull up to meet there. We were going to meet on this dead end road against the property, and pull up, and me and my friend, who was the head of security, and Stan and Pat are sitting in the truck with a spotting scope, like looking at grass waterways, and they like see it. They have a shed spotted in the grass waterway with a spotting scope. So we drive out there, and boom, there's a shed. Pick up a shed. And then, so then as the day goes on, it's kind of a contest. And I can remember we were in this one spot, and we were like getting back close to the truck, and Stan, we're walking towards the vehicle, and Stan goes, "Stop right there, you motherfucker!" And there was like a big drop tine out in the field. He goes,
gosh.
"Game over!" Yeah, he said,
won.
"Game over." He
That's
just won.
awesome.
Yeah.
there's I mean I would still there's still giants out there. I mean, right? I mean, there's giants all over.
There's still areas because of security and stuff that they don't allow no hunting.
Right.
So there's still some
Yes.
no hunting spots. So
Right.
yeah. So there's still some giants.
Can you look up what Honda Marysville owns to this day? Because I don't know if it's changed. I don't know if they've sold some off or bought more. Or I'm assuming they bought more. But what's Honda Marysville Honda's own property ownership in Union County? Honda's ownership in Union County, because that was all Union, right?
They are the biggest
Well, I know they're
North
the biggest.
American manufacturing hubs in Marysville. I
Oh,
we said
okay.
that earlier.
Yeah,
so-
yeah. From a corporate
but
standpoint,
there's the big chunk in Logan with the track through it and everything
Oh.
across from the
TRC.
Yes, I mean it's like across from the gravel pit.
oh,
You know
Is
what I'm
it?
talking about?
Oh, yeah.
There's a big, huge chunk there that has a track and everything on it that is Honda.
where you used to hunt?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Up right across the road
Gotcha.
is a great big giant piece there too.
Gotcha. What do you got?
Still looking up the acreage.
Still thinking?
I mean, I had done it in the past, and it was about
About
8,000.
8,000. I didn't know if they had bought or sold more.
And that may have included TRC and stuff, but TRC's all fenced and everything. I'm
Yeah.
sure.
Well, my mom said she would. So my mom ended her career driving the vehicles.
they'd still get inside, wouldn't they?
She said they would just be. She said she would send me pictures of just giants laying in the grass fields, watching the cars go around. I mean, just laying there, looking at them, eating, standing up, walking around. Sometimes they'd hit a doe or something or a small buck, and total a vehicle, and yeah, they're still there. Yeah, they get into that fence. Mom said they had like holes, or they'd take their antlers and lift the fence, or whatever they did. Or I think she even said there's a low spot, and she's like,
Or if there's a creek and they don't have it fenced properly, they could just go in. And
I mean,
out
I
there
feel
or
like
something.
mom told me she watched one jump the fence one time, and it was like an 8-foot fence, and it like got to the top and rolled over the top or something.
I've seen 2 deer jump an 8-foot fence.
jump an 8-foot fence.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
They like hit the top of it, kind of do a
somersault.
somersault.
That's what she kind of described.
Yeah.
What do you got, Chris? Given, I mean, I'm sure it's kind of public or not public. It's probably private information.
Yeah, I'm trying to just.
That's all right. It is
Honda
what it is.
owned originally 4,500 acres today, but it says the original was 8,500. It doesn't really give you a good number.
Yeah, they probably don't know because
It's all
Honda
broken down.
Honda has so many entities. That like they have things that are
gotten sold off to Midway.
yeah,
to all the
NKP
different
or whatever,
yeah.
but it's all Honda
Yeah,
tied, right?
yeah,
So,
yeah.
but hey, 8:30.
All right.
You gonna go get in the hot tub?
I'm gonna go get in the hot tub.
There
Just
you
my
go.
wife, her neck and her everything and stuff.
Yeah,
so
go
she
give her a
kinda
little
just
massage.
Yeah, right.
There you go. So she's not gonna.
We're on the countdown, folks.
I know. 12 days away.
I know.
It's exciting.
Yeah.
It's exciting. So, one last question before you go.
Yep.
Chris asked me this. What are we doing again when hunting season starts? Because right now we've talked about this. We're sending.
It's a surprise because the garage is about done.
Are you shitting me?
No, I'm not shitting you.
He called me last episode, and I was like, Joel said he had a plan, and I said I didn't ask. I just know Joel always gets everything done. So
Walls are about done, and yep, it's about done.
Awesome. All right, great episode.
We have a home.
Nice. Bye, guys.